everybody, and welcome back to the Entertainment Brick Show. So it is time to continue the LEGO Infinity Saga video game DLC ideas, and now we are moving into level packs. So last time we did character packs, some pretty cool characters from, all different Spider-Man movies and Sonyverse and Netflix and a bunch of random pre-MCU Marvel movies, and now we are moving into MCU Disney Plus TV shows that I think would probably get, basically the DLC for the game would just be level packs based off of the shows, the Disney Plus shows. So, for example, like WandaVision is going to get a level pack, and it's going to include like 8 characters, and it's going to have a level, like a full-blown level, based off of the finale episode of WandaVision. And then the same thing with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's going to get like 8 characters, 1 level, based off the finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So it's very easy to understand. So, this first video here is going to be covering all the Disney Plus Marvel shows that released in 2021. So this is, from last year. Because of course, at the time of this recording, She-Hulk isn't over yet, and as well as Werewolf by Night has not released yet. So we're just going to be doing all 2021 Marvel shows to start us off, but I'm very excited to get into it, so let's get going. We'll start with WandaVision, because that was obviously the first MCU Disney Plus show to release. So, there we go. Let's go. So, what's different about the level packs, the DLC level packs from like regular levels, is that we also have to account for characters that are going to be included in the DLC level pack. So, there's going to be characters and a level. So, you're kind of getting like the best of both worlds here. You're going to be getting, some aspects of what I did with the character packs video, as well as some aspects from what I do with all the level videos. So I'm very excited to actually get into this, because now I'm able to set up a certain amount of characters that are included in the pack, as well as a full-blown level too. So I'm getting the best of both worlds here. Very excited. So starting off with WandaVision, of course, the first MCU Disney Plus show to release. For the characters included in the WandaVision level pack, it is going to be the Scarlet Witch, of course, her design from WandaVision, is going to be White Vision, of course, obviously his design is look from WandaVision. You'll also be getting Billy and Tommy, who are going to be 2 separate characters, but obviously, they'll be younger, and just be like kids, basically. And they're going to be, both their designs from WandaVision. You'll also be getting Agatha Harkness, of course, the villain of WandaVision. And this will be, again, continuing her version from WandaVision, the show. And then you'll also be getting Monica Rambeau. So obviously, probably her white outfit, the white suit that she kind of had on towards the latter half of the episodes of WandaVision. You'll also be getting fake Pietro, who was the Evan Peters, I think his name was, the actor's name. He'll be included in here when he was kind of like dressing up as Pietro Maximoff. And he'll be, fake Pietro will be included. And then you'll also, for another character, you'll also be getting Darcy Lewis in her WandaVision outfit, which will probably be the one where she ends up being an escape artist clown, like a part of a circus or carnival, whatever. When the giant Wanda wave, I guess, took over the agency. So it'll probably be that design of Darcy Lewis in this pack. So there's your characters there. That's 8, right? Yeah, that's 8 characters there. So your 8 characters there for the pack. And now we'll talk about the level. So the level is going to be based off of the finale episode of WandaVision, which is ironically titled the series finale. That's what the episode is titled of WandaVision. And part 1 of this level will be the start of the fight, basically. And this is where you'll be playing as Wanda Maximoff and Vision. So, you'll be, obviously Wanda will be fighting off against Agatha Harkness. So it'll be basically a double boss fight here. You'll be, again, Wanda and Vision will be facing off against Agatha Harkness, and then you'll also be facing off against White Vision as well. So 2 separate bosses in the same part of the level here, which I think could work really well. So obviously these 2 characters that you're playing as aren't included in the DLC pack. So what I'm thinking here is, when it comes to the DLC pack levels, you'll be able to play as characters that are already included in the base game, and you'll also be able to play as characters that are included in the DLC pack as well. Because I think a lot of the DLC packs in LEGO games have you play as characters that are not actually included in the DLC pack they're actually, characters from from the base game that have already been in the base game. Like the one that comes to mind is the Star Wars The Force Awakens video game, where you played as Kylo Ren and like the First Order taking over Takodana, and you actually played as Kylo Ren, who wasn't included in the DLC pack because he was already in the base game. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. So it's going to be like the same style, basically. So you'll be playing as, a version of Wanda Maximoff, and then also Vision, and the objective here is to defeat Agatha Harkness and White Vision. So that's part 1. Part 2 is going to be the military, which is like I forget what that guy's name, but the director of the sword agency, whatever, kind of shows up and starts causing problems. And in this part, you'll be playing as Monica Rambeau from her version in the actual DLC pack, as well as Billy and Tommy from their versions in the DLC pack as well. And the objective here is to find ways to like disable military weaponry, maybe like destroy a few military cars and stuff like that, and fight military people. So my guess is that in LEGO games, they use this system where you'll have like some of your objectives kind of like circled on the top of the screen, and then eventually when you get stuff done, there'll be like a check mark that goes over it. That's kind of what I'm envisioning here, where you have to flip over to find ways to flip over 2 military vehicles, and then you also have to find, destroy 2 military cannons or something like that, I don't know, and then also, fight a bunch of soldiers or something, I don't know, but, just kind of stuff to do around that little area in Westview, I think was what it was called, and you'll be, facing off against the military, basically. Then the final part is obviously the final fight from the episode, where you'll be playing as Scarlet Witch, the full Scarlet Witch outfit from the actual DLC pack. You'll also be playing as Vision, Tommy, and Billy, and the objective here is to defeat Agatha Harkness completely. So another boss fight with Agatha Harkness to finish off the level. So yeah, there you go. That is kind of how this is going to be working here. And at the beginning, I'm going to tell you what characters are going to be included, and then, in the second half of talking about a certain level pack, I'll tell you what the level's going to be. So there you go. That's how it's going to work. Now that you know that, let's move on to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So now we are on to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier level pack. For the characters here, you're going to be getting Sam, Captain America. So obviously, Falcon or, Sam, as in his full-blown Captain America suit from the show. I mean, really cool suit. Loved the suit reveal at the final episode. So yeah, that'll be included in this pack. You'll also be getting Bucky Barnes in his design from the show. He kind of has a little bit of a different design, a little bit, a few details were changed, so why not include him in this pack in a different version? You're also going to be getting John Walker in his Captain America suit, not his U.S. agent suit, but his Captain America outfit. You'll also be getting Carly Morgenthau, of course, the villain, technically, sort of, from the show, a part of the leader of the Flag Smashers, stuff like that, so she'll be included in this pack. You'll also be getting Baron Zemo, and to kind of add a little bit of a uniqueness to this version of Baron Zemo, this will probably be the version where he actually has his mask on, which was, only in the episodes for a very brief period of time, but still a very cool moment, and why not include him in here? And include that version of him in here. You'll also be getting Sharon Carter in her outfit or design from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when she, helped out Sam, Bucky, and Zemo to find the guy who was making super soldier serums. So just kind of like that regular, civilian kind of look for Sharon Carter. You'll also be getting Lamar Hoskins, who was John Walker's partner. I think, what was his name? Battlestar, I think it was. It was this, kind of code superhero name. So he'll be included in here as well. And you'll also be getting Batroc from his design in Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well. So when, towards the end of the show, when he was fighting off against Sam, Captain America, he had a different look than he did in the Winter Soldier movie of Captain America. So there you go. Now for the level, of course the level is going to be based off the finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and the finale episode seemed to be titled One World, One People, and that would be, the title of the level. So to start us off here, this is going to be part 1. This is going to be a Batroc boss fight. You'll be playing as Sam, Captain America, and this will also utilize the LEGO Star Wars, the Clone Wars hold Y to switch your character and setting kind of deal. I still haven't thought of a name for that. I gotta get that. So just easier to explain. But yeah. So you'll be playing on one side. You'll be playing as Sam, Captain America, and on the other side you'll be playing as Bucky Barnes from the DLC pack, as well as Sharon Carter from the DLC pack as well. So 3 characters to start us off in their DLC pack forms. And for Sam, Captain America, again, you're gonna be having a boss fight with Batroc, obviously, which happened in the beginning of the episode, the finale episode. And then as Bucky and Sharon, there's going to be some people in this like heavily armored truck that you're going to have to find a way to break out and save, because obviously in the episode, Bucky was able to just like pull it down, but to add a little bit of, playability to that part of the episode, there's going to be a little bit of changes, so just having Bucky and Sharon work together to try and find a way to open up the truck, just to kind of like have some sort of objective there. So yeah, that will be the first part of the level. The next part of the level will be where you play as Bucky Barnes in his design from the DLC pack, and you'll also be utilizing the Star Wars Clone Wars 3, hold Y scenery and character change, because you'll be playing as Bucky Barnes when he's on the bottom of the construction pit, and then, you'll switch to play as John Walker, Captain America, when he's on the top of the construction pit. So you'll be kind of like going in between two different levels here. And with Bucky Barnes, the objective is to fight flag smashers in that construction pit. So like, they'll probably be like, you have to fight 20 of them, and then, you have to go do some sort of objective and then fight another 20 of them, just to kind of like, keep it going. And then as John Walker, the objective is going to be to try and save the truck that's starting to kind of fall off a little bit. And then, John Walker starts using his strength to kind of pull it up away. But then there's also flag smashers trying to fight him as well. So, as John Walker, you'll also be fighting flag smashers and trying to find a way to keep that truck away from the edge. And then as Bucky, you'll be, fighting a bunch of flag smashers in a pit, basically. So then for part 3, the final part of the level here, you'll play as Sam Captain America and Sharon Carter from both their designs from the DLC pack. And the objective here is going to be a boss fight with Carly Morgenthau, of course, the quote-unquote villain of the show, if you really want to call her a villain. But, I mean, I guess, basically, right? Well, it was a villain, but the reasons were not as villainous, I guess. Oh, I don't know. That's a conversation for another time, I guess. But the objective here, the final part of the level here, is to fight off Carly Morgenthau and just have a boss fight with her in that. I don't even remember where they were. It was some sort of warehouse, I think it was, where they ended up fighting Carly. So yeah, that'll be the objective there. And then that is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier pack. So now we can move on to the Loki pack. Loki's going to be cool. So now for the next pack, this is going to be the Loki pack. Of course, Loki Season 1. And for the characters included here, you'll be getting Loki Laufeyson from his design in the series. Most likely, I was thinking the design when he was, like, I think it was in episode 5, I think they faced off against, like, the smoke dragon. And he kind of had, like a sword holster on his back and stuff like that. Like, he looked pretty cool. So I'm thinking, like, that design from the show. Then you'll also be getting Sylvie, of course, Lady Loki. But she doesn't like to be called that. Doesn't like to be called Loki. But, yeah, Sylvie will be included in this pack, of course, because basically a main character, not basically, is a main character. You'll also be getting Hunter B-15, who was one of the more prominent Hunter characters of the TVA in the series, so she'll be included in here as well. You'll also be getting Ravonna Renslayer, who is kind of like our villain, sort of the series, but she'll also be included in here. Then you'll also get Mobius, of course, Owen Wilson's Mobius, because he is like another main character of the series, so why not, of course, have to include him in here. You'll also be getting Classic Loki, which was the Richard E. Grant Loki variant from episode 5, where he had, all this power and stuff like that, and was able to take down the smoke dragon thing. What was that thing? Oh, Goliath, that's what it was called, Goliath. He used his powers to, make a fake Asgard that Goliath tried to eat, and then it didn't really work out for him. Then you'll also be getting He Who Remains, obviously Kang the Conqueror in another variant, who lives at the end of time, basically, which is pretty cool. And, that design from the series, that He Who Remains design, will be included here. I also put down here as like a little side note, maybe a Miss Minutes companion character, too, would be kind of cool for He Who Remains. And then the final character included here would be Kid Loki as well. He'll probably have the Alligator Loki as like a companion character here as well, and he'll have like, a sword and stuff like that, so pretty cool set of characters here. And for the level, of course, this will be based off the finale episode of Loki, which wasn't too eventful, so I kind of had to take a piece of the end of episode 5 as well, from, the end of episode 5 to be a part in the level here too. But the level, regardless, is called For All Time Always, which was the title of the finale episode. And part 1 here, you'll be playing as Loki, of course, and his DLC pack design, as well as classic Loki, the Richard E. Grant Loki. And the objective here is to defeat Goliath. So you're going to have a boss fight with the giant smoke dragon Goliath. And the kind of other objective here is to protect Sylvie so she can enchant Goliath. So kind of what I'm thinking here is, an NPC Sylvie character will be trying to enchant Goliath while you play as Loki and classic Loki. And the objective is to kind of distract Goliath while also kind of defeating him, basically. It'll be kind of like a boss fight / distraction mission, basically. So that would be the first part, obviously based off the end of episode 5. Then you'll also be getting here, so the next part here is going to be also you play as Loki, and you'll be utilizing the LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars character setting switch, where you'll be playing as Loki on one side, and the objective there is to follow Sylvie, an NPC version of Sylvie, through Kang's palace, or He Who Remains' his palace, whatever. And you'll be following Miss Minutes, but you'll also be following Sylvie until you reach the elevator scene, whatever. And then on the other side, you'll be playing as Mobius, and the objective there is to have a boss fight with Ravonna Renslayer. Because, of course, Mobius and Ravonna Renslayer did have a confrontation in the finale episode, so why not translate that into a little boss fight as well in Ravonna's office. Then for part 3, the final part of the level here, you'll be playing as Loki once again from his design in the DLC, and you'll also be playing as Sylvie in her design from the DLC as well. And the objective here is to have a boss fight with He Who Remains. So a lot of boss fights in this level here, because there were a lot of confrontations with characters in this episode, this finale episode. But yeah, another boss fight with He Who Remains will be the final part in this level. So there is the Loki pack. Let us move on to the What If pack. What If is next. Alright, so now we are on to the What If Season 1 level pack. For the characters here, you're obviously going to be getting the Watcher, played by Jeffrey Wright. Very cool design for a character. You'll be getting Evil Doctor Strange, or Supreme Doctor Strange, whatever you want to call him. But basically, Doctor Strange from that episode 4, I think it was, and obviously the finale episode as well. You'll be getting Captain Carter, of course. Has to be included in this pack. You'll be getting T'Challa as Star-Lord. Very cool design for a character. I love the purple on the Star-Lord suit and everything. You'll also be getting Titan Gamora, which was from an episode that we haven't seen yet. It's going to be a part of Season 2 of What If. You'll be getting Infinity Stones Killmonger. That's just kind of what I called it, because at the end of the series, Killmonger takes the Infinity Stones and becomes all-powerful, but he'll be included in this pack as well, that design. You'll also be getting Party Thor, will be a different Thor design, basically, from the show. You'll be getting Apocalypse Black Widow from, that Apocalypse episode. And it'll be, that design, that kind of armored design, whatever. You'll be getting Infinity Ultron as well as the final character. Final character is Infinity Ultron. So, of course, obviously the main villain of the series, where Ultron is just all-powerful, has, full armor, all the Infinity Stones and everything like that. Very, very cool. To kind of build on Ultron's character. So the level here is obviously based off the finale episode, and this is What If the Watcher Broke His Oath. So part 1 of this level here is called The Guardians of the Multiverse, and you'll be playing as Evil Doctor Strange, or whatever, Supreme Doctor Strange, whatever you want to call him. You'll be playing as the Watcher, and the goal here is to gather the team, basically. So as I'm losing my voice a little bit. As Doctor Strange and the Watcher, you'll be going to different universes, different multiverses, different realms, whatever, and you'll be going and trying to recruit different members to join the Guardians of the Multiverse. I'm kind of envisioning this as from LEGO Marvel Avengers in the Age of Ultron levels. There was the one level where you go on Ulysses Claw's boat, ship, whatever, and there's a sequence where you play as Black Widow, Captain America, and Thor in these little vignette style levels, basically, because Wanda has enchanted your mind or whatever. So very cool sequence, by the way. But I'm kind of envisioning it like that, where you'll have very quick little scenes, basically, where you'll be playing as the Watcher and Doctor Strange, and you'll be going meeting with T'Challa Star-Lord, and oh, he's all recruited. Now we're going to go to the next spot. And you'll meet with Party Thor. Oh, he's all recruited. Let's go to the next spot. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I'm envisioning this first part of the level here. But yeah, so that's basically what's gonna happen. Then the next part here is going to be the Ultron part, where Ultron begins. You know, the fight against Ultron begins. You'll be playing as Evil Doctor Strange. You'll be playing as Captain Carter, T'Challa Star-Lord, Titan Gamora, Killmonger from, you know, Black Panther design, because he doesn't have the Infinity Stones yet, so not his DLC design, but his base game design from Black Panther. You'll be getting Party Thor, or in this level you'll be playing as Party Thor and Apocalypse Black Widow. So a pretty large array of characters to play as in this part, and the objective here is to have a boss fight with Ultron, or Infinity Stones Ultron from the DLC pack, basically. So, yeah, pretty strong boss fight. Obviously, you know, Infinity Ultron's going to be super and crazy powerful and be throwing stuff all over at you, and you'll be basically playing as this very large group of characters trying to defend against him. So, very cool there. Then part 3 is the final part here, called Infinity, and you'll be playing once again as Evil Doctor Strange. You'll be playing as Captain Carter, Party Thor, and Apocalypse Black Widow. So basically, you just lose a couple characters, or you lose T'Challa Star-Lord, Titan Gamora, and Killmonger, and the objective here is to actually defeat Killmonger, or Infinity Stones Killmonger, when Killmonger stole, you know, the Infinity Stones, basically became super powerful. You're going to be having a boss fight with him. So that is how you end off the level, a boss fight with Killmonger. And then, yeah, that's really it. That's how the What If level pack goes. So there you go. Now we'll move on to the final level pack of 2021, basically, or the Disney Plus shows from 2021. So now we are on to the final pack and the final Disney Plus show of 2021, and that is Hawkeye. So for the characters included in the Hawkeye pack, you have Clint Barton in his Hawkeye suit, in his purple Hawkeye suit from the end of the series. You'll also be getting Kate Bishop in her Hawkeye suit from the end of the series. You'll be getting Yelena Belova in her design from Hawkeye. You know, kind of like the agency design, sort of, like the spy design. You'll also be getting Maya Lopez in her, or Echo, you know, where you want to call her, in her design from the Hawkeye series. Obviously, she's getting her own show, so there'll definitely be some sort of level based off of her show as well. But for now, this will be the version from Hawkeye. You'll be getting Kingpin from his version in the Hawkeye show, where there's like Hawaiian shirt and everything like that, and the white suit. Oop, I just bumped the mic, sorry. You'll be getting Eleanor Bishop, of course, Kate Bishop's mother, and also basically the villain of the series, kind of. And you'll probably be getting her in like a dress design or something like that. You'll be getting Jack. I'm not going to try and even pronounce this last name. Well, actually, I'll give it a shot. Never mind. I take that back. I'm not going to give it a shot. Jack, who obviously, you know, people know Jack. He was Eleanor Bishop's love interest in the series. I just can't pronounce his last name. That's all. He's also, what was his name? Swordsman, I think his name was in the comics or something like that. So he'll come with a sword and stuff like that. So, and then the final character included in this pack is going to be Kazi, who was someone who worked for Maya and Kingpin. So there you go. That's the Hawkeye pack. If you've seen the Hawkeye show, you know all these characters. So now we'll move on to the level here, and the final, obviously based off the finale of the Hawkeye series. And the finale episode is called So This Is Christmas. Very cool episode. I love that show. That show was really good because it was all like during Christmas time and stuff. Really cool show. So part 1 of this level here, you'll be playing as Clint Barton in his Hawkeye suit. And this will be utilized in the LEGO Star Wars 3 character setting change. Again, I still have to find a name for that. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But on one side, you'll be playing as Clint Barton in his Hawkeye suit from the DLC pack. And the objective there is to escape the tracksuit mafia in the skyscraper. So there's obviously this scene where, Clint Barton's running through this giant skyscraper building, and the tracksuit mafia is chasing after him, and the objective there is to escape them, basically. And then on the other side, you'll be playing as Kate Bishop in her Hawkeye suit, and the objective there is to have a boss fight with Yelena. So in the same skyscraper, Yelena and Kate Bishop met up, because Yelena was going to try and go kill Clint Barton, and Kate Bishop was trying to stop her, and there was just kind of like this fight sequence that happened between Kate Bishop and Yelena, and there's basically going to be a boss fight with Yelena, so there you go. Then part 2, you'll be playing as Kate Bishop in her Hawkeye suit, as well as Jack. Again, I'm not going to try and even butcher the last name, so I won't even attempt it, but yeah, Jack from the series, and the objective there is to take down all the tracksuit mafia members outside. So there's this scene where Kate Bishop starts fighting Tracksuit Mafia members outside of the skyscraper building, on the outside by like the tree in New York, and then Jack comes over and helps with his fencing skills. So you'll be playing as both characters, just kind of like fighting off Tracksuit Mafia members and stuff like that, saving a few people and getting people to evacuate the building. So pretty cool. Then for the final part, you'll be playing as Kate Bishop in her Hawkeye suit. On one side, again, this would be utilized in the LEGO Star Wars 3: The Clone Wars character setting switch, whatever you want to call it. And again, on one side, you'll be playing as Kate Bishop in her Hawkeye suit, and the objective there is to have a boss fight with Kingpin from his DLC design. Obviously, from the finale of the series, there was a fight between Kate Bishop and Kingpin. So you'll be fighting Kingpin in that like toy store area, or whatever that store was, I don't even remember. And then on the other side, you'll be playing as Clint Barton in his Hawkeye suit, and you'll be fighting Yelena Belova. So another fight with Yelena on like the ice rink, I think it was, of the New York like Christmas setup. I don't remember exactly what that place is called, but yeah. So there's the boss fight with Yelena, boss fight with Kingpin, and you'll be playing as Kate Bishop and Clint Barton. So there you go. That is the Hawkeye level pack, and that is also the final level pack of this video here. So there you go. That is the level packs for the first, year that they started doing MCU Disney Plus shows. Next, part 2 is going to be the level packs for 2022 based off the Marvel shows that released in 2022. Or not next video, but the next like DLC kind of video for this game. And that is going to happen once, She-Hulk is over, and once I see Werewolf by Night, and then I'll, make a video about all the shows, the Disney Plus shows from 2022. But yeah, this is the one from 2021, obviously going right up to Hawkeye, and then, so that's part 1 of the DLC, and this will keep going on as, more Disney Plus Marvel shows release, because obviously there's a lot coming. So, if you enjoyed that video, do the Call YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later.